working world just like that, and I'm not going no matter how well I'm prepared. There's no chance of me believing this how it should work. I wouldn't be convinced if anyone actually cared. You all know money's a stupid reason to kill. That's just how it's been for longer than anyone has ever lived. Work forever. It matters not what you do. It will not help you live, but it'll change some number which inexplicably will. I will never understand. Not like it'll fucking last or matter. As soon as I get the hang of it, we're all gonna fucking die anyway. Sustain my existence, sustain my existence. I have no choice, I have no choice, I have no choice. Words cannot express how completely retarded this all is, or how pathetic you are for going along with it. Drive up the number. Such a valid cause for death. Sustain my existence. And I wonder why people off themselves. Death is the one thing I fear. The sudden stop at the end, or a bullet flying through my head. A fucking number changing. How is that even possible? Physics do not work like that. Life somebody must cease to be. How do I sustain my existence? I physically cannot bring myself to participate in the system of the hierarchy of doom. No more! Shut up! No more! You're gonna kill your son with this! Fuck off! Fuck you! If I ever succumb to getting money, it'll vanish instantly! Or sit in a void, never being you! The existing at all is the epitome of our fucked up society. For every fucking thing, if one element goes wrong, people lose their lives. I don't want to waste the rest of my life doing meaningless bullshit to change your fucking numbers. You're so weak-willed to just keep doing what everyone else does to sustain your existence. No! It's never gonna end. Pride and accomplishment are not worth the risk. They're just fucking hormones. But wait! You do not deserve to end your own life. Not for something as meaningless as this. I need money so I can sustain my existence. I need money so I can sustain my existence. Cut this problem off at the root. A realm of impossibilities where I must go. This shit cannot be me. Don't be replicated by those already have too much. I have no choice, and neither do you. How does this make any fucking sense to you people? The impression's caused by the one it affects. Your fucking sentience, stop letting it force you. Does not mean inflicting misery should be necessary. I have a message for everyone I've met, everywhere I've been. Go fuck yourself. They stop giving a shit, so I stop playing along. This paradigm only brings misery. I won't be him, 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 I won't fucking be him. I will never become another worthless drone, one that has to constantly prove his worth or be killed. I know what money is, and so do you. You're also letting yourselves die for lack of it! Wars, starvation, detained ships, inhabited deserts, and so many other forms of suffering will all completely cease!